So today I am going to be doing a favorite products for oily skin video, and I know this won't be helpful to anyone that doesn't have oily skin, but I have very oily skin, which I've mentioned in previous videos before, and I know it can be very, very hard to find things that look good on your skin and stay in place all day, especially like things like highlighters and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys have oily skin and you would like to see what I use to keep my skin matte, then keep on watching. I'm going to start with primers. So I have two, and one is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Mattifying Primer, and this is what it looks like. It really does a good job at keeping my skin matte. I will say I have to use another primer with this. I can't use it on its own because it can make my makeup stick to my face, in the center of my forehead. I feel like my makeup, it can almost make my skin a little bit dry. So what I like to do is put a smoothing primer underneath of it, like my Smashbox one, or I use the Maybelline one too. And that kind of sucks because this is so expensive, but this is really a good mattifying primer. And this is the Cover FX Mattifying Primer. What? I know that it seems like I couldn't really figure out if I like this or not just from this little tiny size because it's only 0.16 fluid ounces, but really I have used this probably like 20 times, and because you don't need much primer when you're priming your face. So I really like this one. I like it more, I think, than my Makeup Forever one, and I really want to purchase the full size of this, but I really want to go through the other ones that I have. So this is another great option. I know that they're both high end, but I really haven't found a mattifying primer at the drugstore that I really like, so those are two that I really like. If you have oily face skin, it is most likely that you have oily eyelids too. I have such oily eyelids, and I always have since I was in middle school when I was wearing makeup, and I always wondered where my eyeshadow never stayed, and it was because I didn't use a primer. So this is the Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. This stuff is amazing. This is the best eyeshadow primer that I've ever used, and I have tried a lot. I've heard that the NARS eyeshadow primer is really good for oily eyelids, but I haven't tried that one. But this one is amazing, and you get so much product, and literally you use the tiniest bit, so this will last you forever. So if you have really oily eyelids like I do, this is a really good eyeshadow base. Kind of going a little bit backwards, this is my moisturizer, and I mentioned this in previous videos before. And this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel Hyaluronic Acid Face Moisturizer. And this is just a gel moisturizer. If you guys can see, it would run out. It smells so good, and the thing that is great about this for oily skin is that it is water-based. So it has no oils in it, and it's not going to make your face greasy or anything. It's just going to really soak into your skin, and it's really good if you have oily skin. I really recommend this. I also like to use this underneath my eyes as kind of like an eye cream sometimes, but yeah, I use this morning and night, and I think it's great. This is the only powder that I know will keep me matte all day long, and I've tried so many different powders. I have gone through so many of these, and this is the Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder, and I use the shade Transparent 001. That's very important that it's transparent because I feel like the colored powders, because these come in colored shades too, you know what I mean? I feel like those can get cakey super fast, and this just is translucent on the skin. It doesn't add any extra coverage, so if you really like coverage for your face, this isn't going to add that, but it doesn't look cakey at all. I have it today. I just applied a little bit. I've had this makeup on all day. I just got off of work, but this seriously mattifies your face all day long. I used to be in show choir in high school, which if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's really awesome. But I would use this on days of competitions where you would have on your makeup from 4 a.m. until 4 a.m. the next day, and my face would be matte all day long. And this is the powder that I always have used throughout middle school, high school, and now, and this is my favorite powder ever. I cannot stress to you guys enough. And this is only $2, $3, but this powder is seriously amazing if you have oily skin. Seems kind of weird because I'm talking about products for oily skin, but it's very hard to find highlighters that are good for oily skin. Our skin is already so oily, we don't want to highlight our face all over and look like a disco ball because we already do without trying, right? So this is my e.l.f. highlight shades, and I know I've talked about these to death, but these are amazing. This is the palette I kind of put together myself. So these two up here are the highlight shades. This one is my favorite. It's the Champagne. It's the highlight I'm wearing today. It's just a really natural, pretty glow, and I really love it. It's not super in your face highlight because I'm not really into that. So this is just a really natural, candlelit glow from within powder, if you guys know what I mean. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just very natural. It looks very pretty, so I really love those highlight shades. So this is a face mist that I really like, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. This is my MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, and I know that they have like a bunch of different shades, but they have a bunch of different like scents, but this is just the original one and I really, really love it. I've had this forever and I've only gone through half of it, but I use this to wet my eyeshadow brushes to put eyeshadow on to like make the pigment more intense, but I also use this just like throughout the day to just refresh my face and to make my face look less powdery right after I put on my makeup. So that's when I apply it the most, is right after I'm done putting on all the powders on my face, because since we are so oily, we tend to cake on the powder, so our faces can look a little bit powdery. So this just does a really good job at making sure that your face doesn't look too powdery without making you oily. I think that's the big thing for me, because it can be a challenge to find things that most people can use. Like, it's really hard to find something that doesn't make you look more oily, so this is really good for that, and I really love this stuff. Alright guys, so that is all of the products that I have to talk about today. I'm sorry if you have dry skin and this doesn't really apply to you, but I'm sure that there are plenty of videos out there for those of you with normal to dry skin. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you Thursday. Bye!